Hello, this is Malcolm Rose, and today I've decided to do an Ogre Berserker. Now, ogres are pretty cool. They have undergone some changes recently. Well, relatively recently. They used to have +3 apt and maces. Now it's kind of interesting because they have more apps and other things. We are going to focus on polearms because polearms are the best weapon. I don't have an ogre win yet, so we'll get one here. We're going to train throwing and fighting. Probably not even going to train any spear. Well, I was hoping to escape up here, but it looks like we're going to have to fight a big pile of things, which is not great. Thankfully, we're a berserker and we can do that. But wow, does this start suck. This is one of the worst entrance vaults I've ever seen. Because it's like, well, actually it's not so bad. It would be worse if it was just one way in, one way out. But it kind of sucks that we got trapped here, forced to fight all this stuff. However, if I was going to do it, this would be the character to do it on. Now, instead of fighting in a hallway, I actually want to pull back. And the reason for that is that I want to make as little noise as possible. You may be thinking, well, why am I not fighting in a hallway? I just don't want anything else to come. This is okay, though. Berserk really lets us clear out all kinds of stuff. Now, I can think up a whole lot of characters where that wouldn't have worked out so well. I mean, actually, it was probably a misplay, come to think of it, to even walk this way. As soon as I saw those dudes, I should have backed up. But then again, I should have tried to pull just one and then walked back here. Although, I don't think it was the worst move to try to get into a hallway. It just didn't quite work out. Of course, I would have been playing much more slowly and much more carefully if I wasn't playing a Berserker, for the record. Berserkers give you quite a bit of wiggle room on mistakes. Alright, so we have a pair of boots. Unfortunately, my giant ogre feet are just too fat for shoes. R.I.P. I'm just gonna... Oh hey, Dagger of Venom. I do not want to fight this guy. I don't have Trog's hand yet to counteract the Venom, so if I miss a few times, I'm done. I don't have anything to throw at him. You cannot hit people with meat for damage. But yeah, we have to fight him. I could walk around looking for, like, a bat or something to block his path. I could speculatively jump into D2, but that could be a worse situation. Likewise, running around looking for something could be a worse situation if an adder shows up. I think I'm just going to have to use Berserk and hope that I take him out. And we do. Well, we have an excellent weapon now. That was slightly incorrectly done, by the way. I should have berserked when he was 2 squares away from me, not 1. Or, well, okay, not here, but here, because I had a spear, so he moves, then I'm still berserked, then I get more attacks. I'm going to move into this hallway. Now, keep in mind, I don't have any GDR. I'm wearing a robe. Well, I'm wearing animal skin. And I'm not going to have any GDR for a while, so this giant pile of hit points is really my only defense. along with a meager amount of EV. And we can't even use this buckler because, again, we're just too fat. Okay, on this character, I've actually decided that swapping off Trog is the best move. So I kind of want to go Intelligence. Probably going to swap to Zen around the time we finish Depths, and then pop into Abyss just to get Piety up and to kill off the Trog. Kill off the Trog Wrath. As far as spells go, though, we're probably not going to be using many even after we swap. And the other thing is, I'd rather have benefits earlier than later. So we're going to go for Dex, which will give us a little bit of EV, especially if I train some dodging. I want to get Dex to 10 at least, and then I'll probably just go into Strength for more damage from large rocks. This thing is resistant to poison. But we're going to use the dagger anyway because it's quite accurate. We found a vault with lots of lizards, but we should be able to just tab through them, and we do. Alright. D1 doesn't have anything else that we need, except for, come to think of it, there are stones. Now we'll be able to actually use this throwing that we're training, and I'm doing this because, of course, well, large rocks are great. Okay, we've got this adder. We berserk it, we take the stairs, reset the fight. We already have 50 hit points on D2, and this would be why ogres are probably my favorite species. Having a giant hit point gap is nice. I guess trolls might... Trolls are a runner-up for my favorite species, but I like ogres because their aptitudes are good enough that they can actually use pole arms pretty well. Whereas with trolls, you're... Oh boy. Okay, well this guy we are not going to try to duke it out with. We're not going to try to berserk and finish him. We're just going to go up. Oh, whoops, I messed up. Took one more step than I needed to. Yeah, so electrocution can do something on the order of, I believe, 30 damage. So we're not going to try our luck with that. What we will do is we will grab all these stones. We're going to kill that kobold with stones. If we can find him. There he is. Now he could get double move here, so this isn't great. Yeah. So we're going to need to reset the fight again. We want him to be a little further away. Just going to shout a bit. There he is. So what we'll do is we'll stand here, throw rock, both miss, reset the fight. I'm not taking any chances with this thing because, well, like I said, it can do quite a lot of damage. We should be able to kill him with stones. Throw rock, is evasive. I really want that whip is why I'm going through this trouble. Although if I train a little bit of throwing, like maybe if I come back, if I had tomahawks or something, I mean, it could certainly work. Glowing war axe, I don't really care what that is. I don't want to use axes, and, well, I mean, I guess it could be awesome. Okay, we'll identify potion. That was fog. We'll take this axe, and I'll try it on. We'll try it on after I have a remove curse. One, two, three. Got him. Nice. I knew it would work eventually. 6.2, 7.3. So I could train a little bit of maces and flails. Just to get this to speed 1. It's 4.3, 5.4, still 1.1. Okay, D2 doesn't have anything we need. Now remember, this is the floor where things can have wands, so gotta be aware of that. Position myself so that I can't get double zapped, ideally. .1, 4.2. Wow, maces and flails really isn't training up that quickly. Sweet, curare. No blowgun yet, but that'll be nice if we find one soon. Tomahawks of Dispersal. That is an excellent find. Looks like we have a sewer here. This character is plenty strong enough to do it. 6.8, 7.8, alright. But it's still variable. If you're kind of in between the two breakpoints, it'll go between, like if your attack speed is... If your attack speed is 1, or it's between 1 and 1.1. Sometimes when you swing it'll be 1, sometimes when you swing it'll be 1.1. Wow, that was a questionable engagement. This is actually kind of bad. This water should probably just fight in here, honestly. Like, this is brutal on D4, honestly. I would not... Like, I would shout at the exit on any other character, almost. And even that, I'd be very reticent to walk into this water and fight in it. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm an ogre. I'm big enough that the water doesn't even affect my attacks. So, that was a misplay. Okay, this is a nice little choke. I might even shout to bring things to me. We may find a blowgun in here. Off one of these kobolds. Let me test my attacks. 7.4, 8.4, 9.4, 0.4. Okay. We're done with maces and flails forever, probably. We're going to train throwing. What an odd little layout. I don't think I've seen this layout before for sewer. I don't know if it's new or not. No real challenges in here. I guess adders, but where's my large frogs? Where's big kobolds? Where's anything? What a boring sewer. Perhaps I'm missing a secret up here. I doubt it though. Did we find a lot? I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, we have a good pile of scrolls and potions, so can't complain about the reward. I'm just a little confused about the challenge. Usually sewers have some nastier stuff. Slightly nastier. Cool, we have Curing. We have Remove Curse. That means I can throw this War Axe on. Oh, nice! We have a way to kill Hydras pretty easily, actually. We're going to stick with the Whip of Electrocution, of course. Just because Electrocution is better as a brand for now. Although that War Axe of Flaming would be a decent thing to just wear all the time. Also, I didn't really need a Hydra killer, to be perfectly honest, because I'm going throwing so heavily. Large rocks will kill a Hydra instantly. Demon Trident and an Arbalist. That's an artifact. Okay, we have a Jib here. Okay, it's a Wand of Polymorph. I was staying this far back because he can't Lightning Bolt if he's far away. He can Acid Blast, but we could have walked away. But this is cool. Polymorph actually is good for us. So I'm just going to tab him. I could have used Trog's Hand, but the worst thing he could polymorph me into is a pig, and I could still melee him down with Berserk. So, Grinder, on the other hand, we don't want to fight. Not yet. Well, we don't want to fight him without Trog's Hand up. Yeah, 35% pain, 19% paralyze. Should we polymorph him? I'm just kidding. He could easily become an Executioner. Well, he used to be able to. He probably would become an Imp or something. But you better believe I'm not going to test it. Okay, so Trog's Hand. Now he can't paralyze me. He can pain, but that's no big deal. He's not resistant to... He is not resistant to electricity. So we're just going to chuck stuff at him and hit him. Berserk when he gets close. If he walks away or blinks away, I will just go up the stairs. And he's dead. He did have a pain-branded melee attack, but we had enough hit points that it was reasonably assured that we would be able to fight through it. Here's our first Ogre. I'm going to try stones. Once he gets this many squares away, we'll do dispersal, and then stone some more. Giant Club's a pretty good weapon with low training. It's slow, but it does an incredible amount of damage. However, we're going to stick with the whip. And the reason for that is I like to have fine control over my actions. And that means I want the least amount of stuff to happen in between each of my actions. And that means I need to have a fast weapon. Or a weapon, really I'm satisfied as long as it's below one or below. gonna be nice when I have an infinite supply of stones. It should effectively happen soon. I don't know though, that Demon Trident, if that's a good brand, we may want to just train polearms and maybe get off this throwing plan. I just really like throwing because it literally cannot mess you up. I mean, you will find... Wow, this guy's really doing some work. Electricity wasn't triggering for a while there. Anyway, yeah, like you will find stones. You will find some other kind of throwing. You might not find cool needles. You might not find a lot of javelins even. You're going to find something. I mean, come on, you're going to find tomahawks. Orc spawns in every game, and those guys generally have stuff to throw. So, you know, you'll get something. And if you're worshipping Trog like I am, you'll definitely get stuff to throw as Trog gifts it to you. See how I pulled him back through this little hallway? I was limiting the line of sight, so he had to come to me, so I don't have to walk to him. If you find yourself walking towards a centaur, instead of walking backwards and maybe shouting if he hasn't noticed you, you're probably making a mistake. Now, I thought about going bows on this character, but I checked the aptitudes before I started, and apparently they still suck at ranged combat other than throwing. I would like that to change. The whole point of swapping off maces and flails from +3 to -1 was to make ogres have more variety in the weapons that they can choose. So why not give them bows and crossbows too? Just a thought. Okay, that's the temple. I'm going to just take a quick trip inside. Just so I can, if I need to, I can easily get to Zen later. So, I mean, otherwise you can't Control F Zen. I'd have to go to the temple first. Just a slight convenience thing. Alright, this guy is getting some pretty good double moves on me. Unfortunately, I walked into the darkness. I expected this to be connected, but of course it's not. I should have gone into the place where I knew for sure that it was ready. Or that it was like easily pathable. We blink him. This is what I wanted, sort of. Okay, I'm gonna Berserk. Okay, so that was a little bit ungraceful, but we got it. It's one of the reasons I like playing Berserkers and things. They're very resistant to mistakes like that. That sort of mistake might have gotten me killed on another character. On the other hand, I probably wouldn't have made it on another character because I would have played a little more slowly. I think the game is more satisfying when you don't have to play insanely slow. Okay, a Deep Elf Fire Elementalist. Pretty powerful ghost, can do a lot of damage, but he'll also go down very quickly. I'm going to go here to lure him, and then I'm going to step, Berserk, attack. If this goes bad, I'll take the teleporter. Didn't think it would go bad, and it didn't, mainly because of how weak that ghost was. We found some javelins, by the way, I'm sure you noticed. So that'll be nice for big targets. We can officially kill hydras. All you need to kill hydras are some javelins and some throwing training. Let's try some scrolls. I'm going to do it on the staircase, so if it's teleport... Oh man, wasted a blinking, that sucks. Alright, we'll try Identify on my scrolls. Of course, I want these because magic mapping. However, it does say the ossuary is, quote, nearby, unquote. So that means it is rather close. So it is, okay. Let's finish off this guy first. Oh, priest. I kind of want to take out this priest first. Be happy to berserk this stuff. Priests are scary. So this whole orc pack goes down. We have plenty of time to rest up. I'll even take this stuff out. Okay. Let's go in. Okay, we got a pretty easy layout. Should be some alarm traps in here somewhere, I think. Right inside the doorways, probably. Never mind, I was thinking of something else. Anyway, it's mostly zombies. A couple mummies at the end. Ooh! Got our orb of fire killers. Okay, we'll put Dex 2. I wish I knew, I should look up exactly what the breakpoints are for this. I want to say that 10 is the spot where you stop getting owned by the accuracy penalties. So let's just, let's do strength. Get as much damage as possible on my throwing. Okay, that's everything. Now, I could try out this arbalest. I don't think I want to go. I mean, it's -3 apt. Throwing is good enough, you know. I will try out the demon trident though. I put the arbalest on my list mainly because if I want to wear -Tela, which I still think is a good thing to do. I mean, I have been thinking lately about how Zatraps can still move you. Okay, we don't want to fight all this at the same time. Hopefully that priest didn't notice me, but I want to say that he did. That's okay. We do have blink if need be, but I don't think we're going to need it.
Dude, this thing claims I have mail.
Let me turn my phone off here. Trying to arrange to sell a squad rack because I bought a power cage, so I don't need it anymore. Alright, what to do about this? See, he's faster than me, is the thing. I mean, I could just queue up my javelins and start throwing and take some of this stuff out, which might be decent, but if he poisons me, it's a problem. Let's try it. I'm trying to keep the... Okay, there we go. I was just trying to keep the priest from joining this party. I'll use silver javelins, it's fine. Wow, this priest is resilient. I'm just going to hit him. I should have done that a while ago. It's just... Well, electric brand is not the most reliable thing in the world. It only triggers, I think, every 1/3 of the time. So you cannot rely on it to kill something instantly, even if it can. You know, you think, oh, it can do 30 damage, it's gonna kill the thing. Well, maybe. Maybe not. Alright, throwing tomahawks, and we even found some, well, a couple regular tomahawks. Let's just put the ones we don't want to throw on the last letters so that they're in a nice little order that we like. Steel tomahawks, cool. And there's our blowgun. +0 blowgun. Well, we can drop some of these weapons now. Actually, I'm not going to use the giant club. Hopefully I have some enchant weapon to use on that blowgun. By the way, we've crossed the 100 hit point barrier, and we're only on D7. Pretty cool, right? We have a lot of curare. 4 needles is a pretty solid amount, and that is very useful. If we roll into Lair and we get Rupert or something, that curare will be very, very handy. Yep, the game has been pretty kind. This is exactly why I recommend using throwing on a character that has it available to him. Okay, let's disperse this dude. Yeah, but yeah, I recommend using throwing if you have it. If the apt is at least -1, because it's just so amazing. It's just so ludicrously good. And the game just, like I said before, the game cannot just stop you from using it. You will always find a good amount of throwing. Even if you have to rely on stones, which are not terrible. That was a bit of an ambush. Let's fight in this hallway. What? Okay, let's leave. No thanks, Gastronach. He can kill us in 3 hits with airstrike. So I'm going to open up by killing this ogre, actually. And we'll just keep resetting this fight. Killing the things around Gastronach. We're actually going to kill him, though, using the book method. Or we're going to try to, anyway. So he can slow me, but I'm going to Trog's Hand to make that not happen. We could polymorph him, by the way, but the chance to defeat is only 6%. And he could become like a Titan, which is, well, unsurprisingly not something we want. Ooh, 6 haste. 6 intelligence. Interesting. So we'll put up Trog's Hand. I'm going to eat a royal jelly. I'm going to wait for him a bit to close the distance. Actually, no, I shouldn't. What I should do is I should throw javelins. And I should have laid this down here. Alright, so we burn the spell books. Worst case scenario, we have to blink out of here. We're not gonna berserk because that highly limits my options. Now he is not actually resistant to poison, so what I should have been doing is throwing poison tomahawks. Now he's as sick as possible. We now... I should have curaried him, but it looks like we won't need to. Javelins, 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 and down he goes. Alright, so that could have been done a little bit better. The right choice there was, by the way, was definitely curare. I just kind of slipped my mind that I had that available. Ooh, some really good wands. But honestly, I'd rather focus on throwing and fighting, even if I do have Scattershot. This is the kind of character that doesn't need evocations, really. I could think of a few things that might make me do it, but... I want to step away from this stuff, if possible. Okay, I'm happy to get poisoned, if all I'm fighting is a single killer bee. I just didn't want to end up next to a two-headed ogre, for sure. Now this guy we will curare. And then we'll just throw javelins to finish him off. Probably wasn't necessary to curare him. But, I mean, he's slow. He's a big, dumb, slow thing that does a lot of damage. So if you're going to curare something, that's probably the move. It's just that I probably could have killed him with javelins, you know, without doing that. Might get some armor here. Nope. No dragon armor. This is just steam anyway, so no great loss. I'm gonna regen an MR. This is not ideal, what's happening right now. But I'm gonna berserk anyway and kill this stuff. It appears as though, well, I was gonna say Grum is nearby, but apparently, oh no, there he is. Okay, we're gonna curare him. Now he's slow too, we're on even footing. He's got a glaive of protection. If need be, I will disperse this dude. But we got him with javelins. That was not the best berserk I've ever done. If I had been paralyzed, we would have been in some serious trouble. Thankfully, that almost never happens on Frog. But I wouldn't rely. I wouldn't rely on it not happening, is what I'm saying. Okay. Looks like we've cleared that. No loot that we care about. Let's continue going down. So yeah, it looks like this character is really beefy, really indestructible, simply due to the hit point total, but remember, no AC, no GDR, almost zero EV as well. I should probably train a little bit of dodging just so I can get some use out of that dex I pumped. But anyway, yeah, like the character is still rather questionable. Just like this engage. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna fear this stuff. Should have been in a hallway for that. Even if I have our poise, doesn't mean... Come on. Alright, I wanna leave. Killer bees are the bane of this character's existence because they tend to dodge the things that I throw. And I don't have any AC, so even if I do have our poise, it doesn't really matter. I still get poisoned. not feel like playing Mutation Roulette today. I don't think this is the character to do it on. I don't know if there is a character to do it on, but this is not it. Maybe if I had a whole pile of mutation potions, but probably not. So yeah, this character is going to have a very rough time with spiny frogs. Hopefully I can just kill them with javelins and whatnot. But if my throwing fails me, then we've got an issue, or if I'm put next to one. Still no dragon armor. Not that steam dragon armor is great, but it's not bad compared to an animal skin. Looks like we got our first orc warrior. Should go down pretty quickly. Okay. Oh boy, that's a hornet, and that is Josephine. Don't want to fight all that for sure. Now, unfortunately, Lair hasn't shown up yet. Sometimes it'll show up as early as D8, and that's what we want, because it's much safer than going into these deeper dungeon floors. She is... Whoops. She is not resistant to poison. But you know what? I am not fighting her and a hornet at the same time. It's not going to happen. I will fight the hornet here, though. Curare is a godsend against them. Works pretty well against everything, really. Well, as long as the thing in question is not immune to or resistant to poison. Alright, now we got a lot of wraiths. Let's fight them one at a time. They're not too tough by themselves, but in any kind of group, considering that they can slow you, well, it's an issue. Like so. That was rough. Could have died there. Of course, I have blink and everything. I mean, I could have gotten away if it went bad, but again, if I'd gotten paralyzed, not so good. So sometimes the Berserk just doesn't quite work out for you. At the same time, I haven't trained any weapon skill, so I haven't trained much weapon skill. So I shouldn't expect Berserk to work for me the same way it would if I was playing a normal Berserker. Mainly I'm using Berserk as an engine for haste, so that I can get the electric brand to hit as soon as possible. That's where my damage is coming from in melee. That orc had a dagger of electrocution, but orcs go down pretty fast to stones. Let's collect my stones here and explore the rest of the floor. What's going on here? Trident of Distortion. That's kind of nasty. focus that down. Oh boy, I made a mistake. Space bends around you. Alright, that's better than being abyssed. My throwing all missed. Okay, we'll put on See Invisible. But yeah, that could have been very bad if we had gotten abyssed. So yeah, don't assume that your throwing will actually hit. We threw like 3 different things at that guy and none of them found home. I should have reset that fight sooner. Okay, we'll cure our aim. Steel Tomahawk, and we'll finish him with some regular Tomahawks. Mainly using throwing here because I don't want to be rotted by the necrophage. Hey, here's our friend. The humble but powerful large rock. As soon as we have a nice fat stack of them, we'll be using those as our main throwing. Always happy to see those. Javelins do 10 damage, large rocks do a base damage of 20. The damage is nothing short of ludicrous. In fact, why don't we use a couple? Wow, I didn't... Whoops! The delay on those is a little bit bigger than I anticipated. Throwing, alright, you need 26 skill to get them down to the fast speed. Something to keep in mind. Okay, I'm done messing with this distortion guy. We're going to use Curare on him. And he dies. We seem to have found Orc before Lair, which is an option, particularly on a Trog Worshipper. I don't want to do it, but it is an option. Okay, lots of wands here that we don't really care about. We'll drop the flaming. Generally, if you can focus really, really hard on 1 or 2 things, you should. Like, I could dump a little bit of experience into evocations right now, but why would I? I might be tempted if there were hexes here, but there are not. Why wouldn't I just focus on throwing and fighting? Okay, we're going to keep the Ring of Ice on. Not on, but around, because I may want some RC Plus at some point. Getting to the point where stones are cleaning up quite well. Just regular, humble, tiny, low damage stones. Become quite nasty once your skill level is high enough. See? Killing whites with simple stones. Use a large rock to kill the gargoyle. Of course, my high strength helps too. We can just throw stones instead of luring centaurs now. That's pretty cool. Javelins of returning. Cool. Alright, let's large rock this thing. I'm gonna disperse. And we'll continue with the large rock plan. Running out of dispersal, unfortunately. And we've got quite a pile of throwables. A little bit questionable, actually. What to drop? Well, I don't want polymorph. I'm just going to berserk this stuff. No problem. 210 hit points in berserk. I think we can handle it. Okay, so we'll cut the video here. We finally found Lair. Literally as late as we could find it. D11 is the final floor where it could show up. But, not to complain, the floors were actually pretty easy. That didn't have to be the case. You can run into storm dragons as early as D11 if you get the right vault. But we didn't. Had a pretty easy run so far, even considering Berserker. The only thing that really caused us any kind of grief was the endless pile of killer bees. But other than using a fear scroll, I think we did a decent job of getting away from things. Biggest misplays so far, probably letting myself be surrounded by those killer bees and letting myself be hit by the guy with the distortion. I should have spent some resources to stop that from happening. On the other hand, I was almost of the mind that I could escape the abyss at this point. This character is strong enough. But that's like the picture of hubris, because it's definitely not true if I were to run into something like a... Well, not a Hell Sentinel, because I could walk away from that, but Star-Cursed Masses would be a real problem on this character if I got paralyzed. We have a very messy inventory to the extent that I think I would like to use some of these scrolls and find out if they're crap. Okay, Amnesia, we can get rid of those for now. Teleport, I like to have that identified. Enchant Armor. Okay, enchant my cloak up. Recharging, I guess I'll use it on Scattershot. And so the rest of these scrolls, I'm not going to enchant my animal skin. That's, yeah, I don't need 1 point of AC that badly. Once I find some armor, though, we'll see about it. So, yeah, okay, so we'll go into Lair with this next video. I'm sure I'll eventually find some identifies to figure out what some of this stuff is, but I'm very happy with what I have already. Curing all this haste, teleports blinking. I'm set up in such a way that if I die, well, it's 130% my fault. Yeah. Right, so next time we'll head into Lair. Maybe we'll even do like Orc and Dungeon at the same time if it doesn't take too long. But until then, I am signing out.